Glad to be here today. This is a great event. It happens every year, and I really appreciate that we're invited and that we can help support our friends at Red Cloud. My name's Chris Chatter. I'm the CFO of Minera Alamos. Minera Alamos is a little bit of a unique story, a little bit different than what you hear most of the time. It's a development story. Who we are? Well, we're proven mine builders. We've done about 3 successful mines in the past 12 years, all down in Mexico. We're multi-leveraged. We build mines, we execute on low capex stories, we find assets. We like to find an asset that's 300,000 to 500,000 ounces of proved resources, and then we grow it, we build it out. So what we have at this company right now is we have Santana. It's our first asset that we're putting into production. We've already done some mining on it, and then we're looking for obviously targeted complementary advanced projects. This is our company in a snapshot. It's got a good mix of retail and institutional investors. Cisco Gold Royalties is kind of our main backer at 13%. They have the right to top back up to 19% at any given time when we do a financing. In the short term, what they've done is they've let us dilute them down, bring in people like Donald Smith and Aegis and other institutions. We did have a big, overhang of warrants. We've now fixed that problem. It's gone away. Brought in about another $2 million in capital in June of this year. And we are proud to have Cormark, Haywood, and Red Cloud as our analyst coverage. Management and the board, Darren, Federico, and Miguel, they've been together now for 15 years down in Mexico building mines. I came in with Darren in about 2012. And Doug now has joined us, as was the former president of Corex. We purchased Corex, which is the Santana asset, and is now our president. So Darren started down in Mexico with Castle Gold. So he built the El Castillo, which was bought by Argonaut, and I think they bid $130 million. By 2010, they sold that. They were just ramping that up. They had it up to about 40,000 to 50,000 ounces a year, heading for 100, which is what it's been producing at for the last 5-6 years. So we have 3 high-quality assets in this company: Santana, 100% owned; La Fortuna, and Los Reyes. We have equity exposure through another company. So Santana, as I said, we've done a successful 50,000 ton bulk sample that produced about 1,100 ounces. So the met work's been done. Obviously, it leaches well. We've got very, very good recoveries on the leaching, and that is now fully permitted as of today. First permits were received on August 8th. That's federal. We now have the state permits, and that allows us to build out. La Fortuna, we have a change of land use permit has been done, paid for, and our permitting there is pretty close to done. It's of course a low capex. It's got a PEA done on it, post IRR 93%, less than a year payback. All-in sustaining costs, 500 Canadian. And then finally Los Reyes, it's got about 500,000 ounces of indicated, and we own about 9.5 million shares of Prime Mining. Prime Mining, we did an option to sell them that project, or option that project to them. All our initial money into that project has been received back, plus another 9.5 million shares of Prime, which gives us about a 16% equity stake. So as I said, this is a near-term production opportunity. As we said, we look at low capex, heap leach environments, and we develop them internally. We do all our own engineering internally. We do all our own design and build internally. This is located in Sonora, very safe state. It's 8,500 hectares. It's a big land package. It's only had a very, very small amount of it explored. Paved highway, good infrastructure, and close to other mines. So we're looking at doing about 50,000 ounces, starting at 30,000 ounces and ramping that up. In the near term, 30,000 ounces a year with plans to build it out. Exploration update, so there's about 30,000 meters of drilling done today, 25 meter centers, and everything's open at depth. We're just starting a brand new drill program, which I'll get to in a few minutes. As I said, bulk mining is completed. I've seen it. I have the gold in my office. It's now in the safe deposit box. There's, we were doing about 0.67. That should be about 1,100 ounces. Now I got one more little block off it. What we did during that mining is we tested different sizes of crush, looking at recovery rates. We found that it's an excellent, it's good material. We don't need to conglomerate. It percolates well, and we are getting well into the high 60s and 70s of recovery percentage-wise in a bulk mining heap leach environment. As I said, we do all our own internal engineering. This is the proposed gold heap leach layout of the site. All the drawings have been done, and basically right now we're just waiting for the rainy season in Mexico to be over before we start executing on design and build. Exploration potential, as I said, we're going to starting a 10,000 meter drill program. It's going to test some new targets, Target 2, Zada. As you can see, we did a small program in 2018. We're following up on the Diversio zone. The Nico zone is our main zone, Nico Norte. Nico Norte is where the first, where the heap leach mining was completed and done. It just so happens that we own the property next to this. And so it actually continues onto that property that we already owned. To date, they stopped obviously at the border. Now we can drive the drilling onto our other project, Los Verdes. So I'll switch to La Fortuna project. That's our second project, and that'll be our second mine, which we expect we'll start to build about a year from now. We'll put them in progression. There's sort of going to be an overlap, but we want to have Santana mostly up and running. It's a high-grade, low capex, open pit operation. Significant exploration upside. It's just inside the Durango border, safer, better state. We work out of Culiacan, we drive in. That used to be about a 4 or 5 hour drive. They've now paved the road to about 20 kilometers from the mine, brought in state power. So that drive's now down to a couple of hours. It's 100 kilometers. It used to be treacherous. It's getting much better. They're going to take that power and road right past our mine. But for right now, it's envisioned being built with genset power. So as I said, there's a PEA completed. It's a simple open pit mine. It's a simple flow sheet, 40 to 50,000 ounces per year, low capex. About 3 years ago, we bought a used mill. It's sitting in Quebec right now. It's been disassembled, packed into 40 sea cans, and it's ready to transport to site to be rebuilt. It's about a 12-month build out, and we're looking at debt packages and negotiations now for financing that as we speak. So this is the PEA economic summary. It was originally envisioned as an open pit heap leach. However, when we got there, two things happened. One, 70-80% of the material is plus 4 grams, 3.5, 4 grams. Two, there was a lot of used mining equipment, so we picked up this used mill for next to nothing. I've sold off enough pieces now that basically the cost base of that is zero. And it made sense to do it with a milling operation. So it's gravity. Gravity, you get about 50% of the gold, and then and then float the rest into a copper con. So pre-production capital, 26 million US. I think that's a little high. All-in sustaining cost, 440. Initial mine life, 5 years. Mill throughput, 1,100 tons a year. It's a 3,000 ton per day mill. It's 2 ball mills, so we can, we can regulate based on the size of the, as we expand out the resource, how much milling capacity we need, and we can ramp up that mill quite quickly towards 3,000 tons per day. This was all predicated on 1,250 gold. I mean, this thing really shines at 1,500. Even now, it's about a 12-month payback. So it starts with initial starter zone in this area, and that's the area that's been drilled off and has 300,000 proven ounces. And as I said, majority of that resource is 3.5 to 4 grams per ton. And we've demonstrated in the lab, I think we were up over 94, 95%, but we've been conserved here at 90% recovery. Sorry, I said 2,000 ton per day mill, excuse me. As I said, it's 1,100 tons per day, contemplated and expandable very easily due to the dual ball mills to 2,000 tons per day. There's a huge resource potential on the property. We've identified about 4 other targets, Ramada, PN, Prospect, and then continue on strike with the original discovery. 500 meters to the north, we get a similar style ore body. We have not drilled between to see if that's contiguous. Obviously, that'll be one of the first places we look at when we go back there in with drills. As I said, so the PN, Prospect, Ramada, Fortuna, you can see there they've had some historical drilling, but basically nothing's been done with this since 2008, 2009. We've done 1 small course of drilling. The whole area is littered with gold showings. All these little gold dots here are turn of the century artisanal mining style, little pits, little adits. It's all over the property. So there's just low grade gold everywhere. So, and then finally Las Reyes. This is the project that we've now optioned off. As I said, we own 16% of Prime. This is a very, very historic mining district. There's hundreds of thousands of ounces have been mined. We had 2 projects on the go. We're a small team. We do things internally. We're trying to keep things tight, and we just didn't have the capacity to push this forward with as much weight as it should have been. So we found a great partner in Prime who's going to drive it forward, while we still get to share in the upside through our equity investment. We have the right of first refusal, and at some time perhaps we will get back into it and actually build the mine for them or with them. We'll see how that goes in the future. It used to be owned by a company called Vista Gold. They moved to Australia. They have a major project in Australia, and again, they didn't have the horsepower and the drive to push this forward as well. So hence how we got it, and then we've moved it to Prime. So it's been a busy year, especially the last 4 months. As I said, we got rid of our warrant overhang, which was impacting our share price. We got rid of 63 million warrants, either exercised or expired. That brought in well over $2 million into the treasury. We completed this Santana change of land use application. That's been paid for, and it was on schedule. The full Santana permits have now been done. We thought we'd get them by the end of September. We got them August 8th. Drilling is imminent right now. As of yesterday, they were moving drills in. And we got the Guadalupe option done, so it's been busy. The fruits of those labors, though, are a share price appreciation of 76%. Consistent average trading volume, 800,000 to 1 million. That's tripled since a year ago. And one of the analysts is now upgraded. And now, probably 10 minutes from production, our first pour. So the value proposition is, we take these low capex assets, we build them out internally, we do it on the cheap, and we're driving income. We're looking for profitability, not a big splash in the exploration side. As far as discovery, the discovery's been done, although we will, obviously discover more gold on these properties and build out the resources. So we start with Santana, get our feet wet, get walking, get to La Fortuna, a bigger capex, a bigger mine, more profitable mine. We look to do Santana expansion. We know there's more gold. We're actually drilling to prove up those ounces now. Look at a third asset. We have at least 1 or 2 assets in the hopper that we're looking at, one in fairly late stages of negotiation. That's actually very tie in well with the Santana asset, and we look to move this into a 100 to 150,000 per annum producer with a decent all-in sustaining cost of $650, $700. Here's the production profile. This is the Cormark Securities research. Again, out of Cormark, it's going to produce strong cash flow. All of these, especially at $1,500 gold, all of these projects have sub $1,000 all-in sustaining costs. We're developing and finding ounces at less than $20 an ounce. They're saying 10, I'd say it's just a little bit higher than that, but certainly very low cost ounces. We know they're there, it's just a matter of proving up. So, as we move into production, we'll look for a re-rate, and as you can see, our peers, we're highly undervalued in comparison to our peers. However, we are starting to catch up with the increase in our share price in the last 6 months, and we'll look forward to driving shareholder value. So the next 12 months, we've got the Santana mine construction. As soon as the wet season's over, that'll be like late November, somewhere in there, November, that will start to be built. Right now we're working on the royalty debt funding package for that project. It's a sub 10 million capex, so it's not a huge big chunk to chew. Santana Phase 2 exploration ongoing, so that's 10,000 meters. That'll extend all the way into next year. La Fortuna, finish up the permitting on that, finalize debt. And then, of course, always we're evaluating near-term production assets or M&A opportunities. And then finally, about next June, we hope to see the start of the Santana mining operations. I think that's it.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done. Thank you.